Up in the sky, look, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. What up, y'all? It's your boy, Infamous Blink Coleman. Welcome back. Alright, I told you guys I would definitely review this new Superman movie, and today is that day. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out if you heard. Links to everything is down below. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the new Superman movie, get up out of here, watch the movie, and come back to this one. And guys, if you guys want to get my videos before they even show up on YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. So you're probably wondering what's Patreon. Patreon is pretty much what was it, an online platform where you can go and support your favorite content creators. Sometimes your favorite content creator can sell merch on there, or sometimes you can get access to the videos early, or get behind the scenes stuff. So guys, if you guys are interested, check it out. Again, the links in the description down below. The movie starts out in the Arctic, and we got a little bit of a text explaining everything that's going on. It's been 300 years since the world has known about metahumans, people with superpowers and all that stuff. Then 30 years ago, a baby came from Earth and has been taken in by a human family, aka that baby was Superman. 3 years ago, that baby grew up to become Superman, and he's been at it for 3 years. 3 weeks ago, a country named Bravia was invading Giantport, but Superman stopped it. But he kind of got a little bit of hate for stopping it. 3 hours ago, Superman was fighting some sort of metahuman by the name of Hammer of Bravia. And 3 minutes ago, Superman got his butt whooped for the first time ever. Superman crashed into the Arctic, and pretty much he was really beaten up, man. He got his butt whooped. Superman whistled for his dog, Crypto Superdog. Superdog actually do have the same power as Superman, obviously. Crypto dragged Superman to the Fortress of Solitude. And pretty much there was these Superman robots that kind of was trying to help him get back to health. They analyzed his physiology and figure out what was wrong. All he needed was a little solar radiation bath, and he'll be good to go. They exposed him to some solar radiation and he was good, but he wasn't at full power. He was 80-something% power. And Superman went back to go fight Hammer of Bravia dude. Superman flew all the way to Metropolis, but there was this woman named the Engineer. She's a metahuman. And she was infected with nanites to give her superpowers. She could fly, transform her hands into tools, hack into stuff. She was trying to find the Fortress of Solitude for Lex Luthor. She was working for him. Superman managed to make it back to Metropolis. Lex Luthor was in his little I guess his LexCorp tower, and pretty much was monitoring the fight the whole time, giving the Hammer of Bravia commands for different fighting moves. Then the Engineer pretty much told Lex, hey, I found the Fortress of Solitude and stuff, but the Fortress of Solitude was sinking down on the ground. But Lex Luthor told him do not drill into it, just head back. The Hammer of Bravia dude kicked Superman's butt and kind of got him slammed on the ground. Superman got a little help from this dude that was working at a little food stand. The Hammer of Bravia pretty much flew off somewhere to some sort of secret military compound that Luthor owns kind of, and teleports inside the Luthor building. And all that, we kind of got introduced to this girl named Eve. Eve is pretty much a ditzy, airhead, beautiful blonde girl that is kind of Lex's lady friend. Back at the Daily Planet, Clark, Superman kind of changed back to his Clark Kent persona, and pretty much came into work. Perry White kind of scolded him for being late, and he was on his phone with his mama, pretty much talking about how he missed him and stuff, and they love him. Then we got introduced to Jimmy, and Jimmy's a little bit of a Casanova in this movie. They were chatting it up and having a good time. Then eventually Lois showed up and turned on the TV, and they were watching TV about the Bavarian what was it, president or I guess government official that pretty much run the country, telling them hey, they have every reason to go after the Jartorians, and Superman is kind of responsible for this. Lois was getting a little suspicious when Clark mentioned the fact that he already interviewed Superman already on his way here, and she was wait a minute, how are you getting all these interviews that quick and that fast? We were trying to speed things up. Lex Luthor was at the Pentagon, pretty much trying to convince government officials to basically get a team of metahuman hunters called Planet Watch, led by I don't know, Ultraman and the Engineer, and as well as Raptors, pretty much high-tech armored soldiers that Lex pretty much built to basically take down Superman or bring him to questioning. All the government officials said, no, that would be a risky and dangerous idea, And until he like proves that like I don't know, like he's legitimately a threat right now, they're not gonna like do anything. Back at Lois's apartment, Lois and like Clark has been like dating on the low. She already knows that Clark is Superman, and like Lois like was like trying to like get an interview with Superman, and things were getting a little heated, and they kind of like had a little bit of an argument, and pretty much Lois got a little upset, and she said like she realized that it's not gonna work with him, and pretty much Superman left. Lex went into the Fortress of Solitude to basically like find evidence that Superman was here for some malicious intent. They took out all the Superman robots, even like the kidnapped Crypto. The engineer kind of like hacked into like the Fortress of Solitude computers to basically like find information. Eventually they found out about the message, and the engineer kind of was downloading it, and like Lex had a plan to like release some sort of giant monster onto Metropolis, so that way Superman's distracted the whole time. Superman was fighting like the giant monster, and like it was a really epic final fight. The Justice Gang pretty much showed up, which comprised of Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl. And it ended with like Mr. Terrific like killing the creature, but Superman like didn't want to kill him. Eventually, like, everyone started turning on Superman when they found out about, like, the message, and, like, how, like, they got translating to the fact that, like, his parents wanted him to conquer Earth. Superman, like, went back to the Fortress of Solitude, and he realized, like, it's been broken into, and Krypto's missing. Superman's running Lex first. The government pretty much approved of, like, the whole Planet Watch idea from Lex. Later on, Superman and Lois kind of, like, had a little talk, and Superman told Lois that he's gonna turn himself in, because he needed to, like, find Krypto. Eventually, he turned himself in, and pretty much like they took him to like that Luthor base earlier, and pretty much like stuck him to a pocket dimension and imprisoned him with Metamorpho. Metamorpho can change his body to any substance, even kryptonite. Metamorpho turned his hand into like kryptonite. And it turns out Eve and Jimmy, they once like dated at some point, and Jimmy was using her for information. Eventually Lois and Mr. Terrific pretty much break Superman out of prison, and Metamorpho and the son as well. Eve sent Jimmy the information, and Lois and Jimmy pretty much put two and two together. This whole time, like, Lex was like using the Baravian leader to help him pretty much like create a new country for him to become king or something. We had a little epic final fight. Turns out like Ultraman was like an evil Superman clone that Lex created to control. Eventually, like, Lex Luthor was defeated and was sent to like prison, and that was the end of the movie. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, man, the Superman movie, bro, that was wild, man. And honestly, though, there were so many Easter eggs and references in that movie. 2025 has been like a good year for movies so far. I mean, you heard about the third movie, Fantastic Four, and like, what was it, the Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic Park Rebirth. Bro, I'm telling you, man, like, comic book nerds and like science fiction fans, we have been treating good this year, man. This is our year, in my opinion. Bro, I'm telling you, the Superman movie is a breath of fresh air. Finally, though. I'll be honest with you, at first, when I heard about, like, Nicholas Hoult being cast as Lex Luthor, I really didn't think, like, he could actually pull it off. But I gotta admit, man, Nicholas Hoult, he definitely deserved, like, his flowers for this movie. Because he definitely embodies, like, Lex's character to the T, man. And, bro, like, I'm just saying, I mean, again, I have my doubts. Okay, here's the question here. How is Jimmy pulling all these women off, man? How is he pulling off all these baddies, man? I had to watch the movie like at least 5 times to like understand and figure out like how Jimmy got that rig, man. I'm just saying, man, like, bro, like, first it was the girls at work, then it was the ladies on the street, then it was Eve. Bro, this dude, okay, bro, if anyone saying that like Superman had a secret harem, no, it's not true. It is Jimmy the Man Olsen, man. That's what I'm gonna be calling him from now on, Jimmy the Man Olsen, man. Because, bro, he really got the risk for real, man. Okay, let's get into David Cornsweet, man. Bro, this dude has really did, like, a good job portraying Superman, bro. Like, he definitely, like, honors, like, the whole, like, character of Superman. He did him to perfection, man. And I gotta admit, the whole movie is, like, the most comic accurate version of Superman. I mean, I would say his personality and the costume. Finally, we got the red trunks back. The last time we saw, like, Superman with the red trunks, it wasn't like this Superman movie from like 2006, it was Superman Returns. But going back to David Cornsweet, bro, he embodied the character so well. I mean, bro, he was willing to say like a dog, a squirrel. Bro, he do not care, man. All life is precious, man. And that's the type of Superman that we kind of need right now. Because the way that everything is going right now, we just need some optimism, man. At this point, James Gunn, the same James Gunn that did like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, like 1 all the way to 3, bro. Okay, honestly, man, Disney is definitely like crying right now, bro. They realized they knew they messed up when they fired James Gunn, man. They really messed up, man. Eddie Gatsiki, bro, this dude has really did like a good job, and thank God he came back, man. Okay, in case you guys don't know who Eddie Gatsiki is, he wasn't like an actor who showed up in the movie X-Men First Class with Nicholas Hoult in that one. I mean, Hoult was playing Beast, you know, Hank McCoy, the blue furry monster, well, not furry, okay, kind of furry monster dude, and like Eddie Gatsiki, his character is Darwin. He has the ability to basically adapt to anything. And there was like a little bit of a controversy with him in that movie. They killed his character off a little early, and the fact that he's the only black character in that movie, I can see a reason why, man. And know that ever since like that, like he hasn't like touched any superhero project ever since because he felt like he was gonna be like dealt the same way. But thank God, hallelujah, man, because that wasn't even the case though. And bro, I'm gonna admit, man, the way that like Mr. Terrific took out all those guys, bro, that was wicked cool, man. That was really cool. And I liked how they, I mean, it was, I mean, the cheese spears, you know, the spear things that was flying around him. Okay, now that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a very interesting design, though. I mean, it's a little far off from the comic books, but still, like, the purpose is still the same. They can, like, create force fields, like, let them fly, and, like, do whatever crazy stuff, though. Also, though, Mr. Terrific gotta be, like, one of my favorite characters in this movie, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, he pulled that thing off with swagger. Eddie, bro, if you're probably watching this video, man, thank you, man. Thank you. Honestly, though, man, okay. The Jordan Poor and Baravia pretty much conflict, bro. Everything about that scene has been like, been viewed and dissected all over the internet as like, you know, metaphor for the whole Israel, the Israel-Palestine conflict. Bro, I'm just saying, man, like, it's just too much, man. I'm just saying, man, it's just so real. And I'll be honest with you, the dude who was the leader of Arabia and stuff, bro, that guy pretty much looked like, I don't know, like Ben Netanyahu. He kind of does remind me a little bit like Albert Einstein. Maybe it's just a gray hair. But the point is, man, like, Arabia is practically Israel and Jordan is pretty much Palestine. James Gunn pretty much stated himself that, like, he did not really intend for it to be that way. But, like, I mean, it's understandable, like, why, the reason why. I'm just saying, everything that's going on with Israel right now, and some conservatives or people that are right-wing, they're pretty much saying, like, oh, Superman is woke, Superman is, like, woke and, like, feminist and all that stuff. Are you freaking kidding me, bro? Literally, you have never read, like, a Superman comic book ever, bro. And yeah, mind you, almost every single superhero that was ever created always stood for or kind of have been metaphors for almost societal and social issues that were written and created at that time, man. I mean, Superman is pretty much like a metaphorical, like, I guess like a fictional upgraded version of Moses from the Bible. I mean, okay, let me point this out to you. Let's see. He's like, well, technically, Moses is not the last of his people. His people pretty much sent him away to basically live among the Egyptians. And pretty much, like, he became like some sort of savior. And pretty much, like, get the Israelites out of, like, you know, slavery and stuff out of Egypt. Bro, everything about Superman does kind of like have its roots in like Judeo-Christian parts of it. But again, not just inspiration, man. And not only that, Superman has actually like fought the Nazis in comic books before. And not only that, he fought the freaking KKK. There's literally a comic book about this. I mean, okay, I'll definitely like do my own little commentary on that later. Superheroes and comic books have always been political, bro. You cannot take away superheroes from politics, man. And shoot, superheroes and politics, they've been there. They've always been there. And Superman is like the shining #1 example of that, man. Okay, I found a couple Easter eggs and references, man. Like, in a Hall of Justice kind of like place where pretty much the Justice Gang is pretty much hanging out. Bro, if you look at like very closely, you can like see like how like on the wall there are pictures of heroes being like displayed here. Like some of them are like, I mean, some of them I couldn't make out, some of them I already knew. I think I saw like one of them has like Wildcat, one of them's Doctor Strange. I mean not Doctor Strange, I mean Doctor Fate. And like some of the other classic heroes from the 1940s, because before the Justice League, there was like the Justice Society. Pretty much like the Justice League before the Justice League. And they kind of like fought in World War II. I'm glad that they kind of like put that there because I mean I'm just saying like throughout the whole title sequence, they did mention the fact that like the world has already known about like metahumans for like 300 years. So I mean that was like a really good like I guess kind of like connection to it though. Ultraman, alright. So in case you guys are not familiar with the comic books or never watched that movie Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, pretty much Ultraman is like some sort of like evil doppelganger of Superman, where he like became like a crook and pretty much like ran like a little Justice League, but they're not Justice League, they're called themselves the Crime Syndicate. When Ultraman was like revealed to be a clone, honestly, man, my brain automatically thought like that was Bizarro, or it could be like Superboy. Well, not Superboy, but like there's been like a character named Bizarro, pretty much like a evil clone Superman. That kind of like see the opposite of everything. Honestly though, with him like being like sent to that black hole into like that other dimension, that could have also like turned into like Bizarro world in a way. So it wouldn't be surprising like that. I'm just saying like that could be like a good opportunity for a sequel for like that evil clone Superman to come back as Bizarro. That would be a good idea. I know that one thing I kind of noticed like in like the Superman movie, watching it like at least the third time, I noticed that like Lois wears like a purple outfit. In case you guys weren't born in the 90s or 2000s, you probably remember Superman the Animated Series, pretty much a Superman cartoon from the 90s, where Lois, as the outfit, like, the whole outfit kind of like wears like mostly like a purple shirt. It kind of does remind me of that. I wonder if they really did intend for that to really be there. Okay, the Peacemaker cameo. I mean, I never watched the Peacemaker series, but I never really got into like the whole character of Peacemaker, or like the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. I never really got into it though. But from what I hear about Peacemaker, Peacemaker is kind of like a little bit of like a funny, tongue-in-cheek show. Anywho, again, like his cameo, pretty funny. And knowing that they're about to drop season 2 in a couple weeks or so, the actor who plays like Rick Flag, his name is Frank Grillo, who, if you guys don't remember, like he played Crossbones from like, what was it, Captain America's, like, what was it, Winter Soldier and Civil War. That was him. And he also like voiced like the character, what was it? Well, his character, Rick Flag. Well, his name is Rick Flag Sr. His son is Rick Flag. He's pretty much like the dad. And what was it? He was like in the show called The Future Commandos. Also, almost every single Guardians of the Galaxy character pretty much showed up in this movie. I mean, you already had like Bradley Cooper in like this movie. And let's see, what was it? I think it was like 2 of like the Superman robots was like voiced by, one of them was by Yondu, and the other was by Mantis. I always keep forgetting their names, but the point is, man, like, I'm just saying, man, almost every single, like, James Gunn film or TV show or whatever project he's working on, 9 times out of 10, whoever worked on him in one of those movies has, like, a chance to, like, be in, like, his other movies, man. Okay, have you guys, noticed the fact that they always constantly use 3? 3 minutes ago, 3 weeks ago, what was it, 30 years ago, 300 years ago? And the fact that the Justice Gang was only a trio until Metamorpho showed up? Yeah, obviously, in my opinion, I think that they're kind of like representing, the Holy Trinity of DC comic books, or the Holy Trinity itself. Specifically like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. The reason why they mostly refer to as the Trinity is because, like, they were the most, like, relevant superheroes and most famous superheroes, like, past World War II. At least that's what I know anyway. Okay, I really did like the chemistry between David Cornslet and Rachel Brosnahan. Okay, bro, I'm just saying, like, everything does seem pretty good though. And all that, I'm be honest with you, the way they portrayed Lois, I'm not gonna lie, they made her more than just a damsel in distress, like they always do with the other movies, man. And not only that, it kind of does show that Lois really do, like, take being reported really seriously, which in my opinion, I say it was pretty good though. Going back to the fact that Superman has always stood up for progressive ideals, there was this one episode in Smallville, in case you guys don't remember. Smallville is pretty much like a Superman show that kind of like shows us like him growing up as a teenager and discovering his powers and growing into his own. There was this episode where pretty much like, what was it, his neighbor that operated a farm was using migrant labor, and he was like killing some of them. And his mom like wanted to call ICE to like, like round him up. But then Clark pretty much said this.
We have no choice. We have to call immigration.
I told Javier he'd be safe here, and I meant it.
I want to help this boy as much as you do, but I took an oath to uphold the law.
All he's trying to do is find his mom.
I know, but we have to go through the proper legal channels.
Was it legal when you forged my adoption papers? I'm an illegal immigrant, Mom. You've been harboring me for over 17 years.
Your situation was entirely different. We had to protect you.
And I need to protect Javier. If I don't defend him, who will?
See, Superman has always been like like a metaphor for the immigrant experience here in the United States, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm just saying, like, me watching the whole episode, it does, like, bro, it hits really hard right now. Especially like hearing like what's going on with the whole like Pride being shut down because of the whole mass deportation thing. I'll probably react to that later, but again, Superman has always stood up for progressive ideals, man. And for those that say like, oh, that's not true, keep comic books out of politics, again, it's always been there. You just haven't like really paid attention. Highly recommended that you guys like watch Smallville though.